Good morning, welcome to a morning review on Wednesday the 29th of April. This is Kim Watson speaking for Easy Trader. So looking at the euro dollar first, and as you can see yesterday we pushed up once again, closed up pretty much towards the high of that candle, which could suggest we could see a continuation running through to today. Now we have now got pretty close to that prior level of plenty of supply, so there's quite a bit of resistance around that area previously. Interesting thing would be to see if we can get into there and whether we can break through it this time. There's quite a possibility we could. Now, looking at the sort of 4 hourly pattern, we're currently sitting in some sort of flaggish pattern. As we come down to the hourlies, you can see it a bit clearer in terms of where we are now. Now, there is the chance we could come back down to 109.42, so could get a bit of a retrace before we continue. And if we continue, if we get a move down to there, I'd be probably looking to buy back towards the 1.102 area. So the 1.1 is just a shade off of where we were yesterday. It's quite a significant number in a sense. It will be, as I say, you start moving into that area. That's the area where we were seeing the selling coming in previously. So if we can push up into that area, we'll see how it runs. It may be that we just run through any resistance that's sitting there at the moment. But I would like to see that 1.0942 area taken out first. Okay, so at the moment looking relatively bullish. Now there is news coming out all morning that may affect the euro, being the German PMI figures coming out throughout the morning. Now this normally creates a little bit of volatility, not massive, but it does all the same mean that we'll may see, as I say, some volatility. Really the next point of news from there on that will affect the euro most likely is the US advanced GDP, which is due out at 1:30, and then we got the just purely the FOMC statement with no press conference afterwards. That's at 7 o'clock UK time in the evening. So some key news coming out today, which may or may not see the euro fly or hold still. I would expect we'll see some sort of softening in there because they were talking about interest rate increases in June, and I think that may be it's very unlikely now, I'm sure. But I'm sure that's priced in as well, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of people thinking the same way. Okay, looking at the pound, and yesterday managed to break out through that sort of those prior highs there that have been tested. Okay, they've been broken before, so it proves that you could do it, but sometimes you just come back to them and you find resistance. We are sitting there at these lows here at the moment, which again may provide a little bit of stumbling block, but there's a possibility we could run up towards that 155 area, which is quite a key line. It was a support area previously, became resistance, and may again become resistant. So looking for that if we do get a shove up there. Now that's where we are on the dailies. We've had the one thing is, I think it's over 11 days we've only had one retrace, so there's got to be a time, but hopefully it's not today because we're still in a swing long for some of us. So hoping that it will push up towards that 155 area. However, the caveat, of course, that's the hope. It would be nice if it moved up there, I should say. Now we have got a possible retracement level back down at 152.80, around that level, 87, around about that sort of area. It's got a reasonable chance of getting hit. If it does, I would be looking to buy off that area and pushing back up towards the 154 area, maybe, as I say, pushing up further. But depending on when it does it, of course, if the FOMC figures come out and it's all very bullish and hawkish, well, we could see pound roll over at this point. Okay, so that's the pound. Looking at the dollar yen. Dollar yen sort of some strength there. Yesterday it pulled back again, but it's still sitting within this sort of tight sort of support area around about the 118.83. I almost said 118, which will make sense for the people in the UK. It's a telephone service, so sitting at that 118 area, bit of support. Now looking at this pattern, it would suggest that we could see a breakdown. I mean, we've sort of seen pulled back, did a sort of flaggish pattern, coming back, double bottoms. If we can break these lows, well, we could be on for a bit more of a move there. We have got a little upside target of 118.94, so that may, if we start breaking, pushing backwards, and the other currencies are doing this inversion, but the same, we could see that hit again. Really looking to see if we can break that area. I haven't been trading the yen because it's just not really moving the same sort of ranges as we've seen on the pound and the euro, but that could run down at some point down to its S1 at 118.68. So looking at that, but it really depends if it can hold on to where it is. If the news comes out from the FOMC really laps this evening, we really could see some quite big movements, normally 200 pips or so. So could see quite a big move. Okay, and finally let's finish up on the Aussie dollar. But it could go either way, of course, that 200 pips, so be careful. Looking at the Aussie dollar, and huge update yesterday, just pulling back a little bit now, which is no surprise after such a day. However, it seems to be making up some lost ground. It's broken through the key sort of areas which I was looking at the prior highs here, managed to get beyond that, and it is making a reasonable sort of job of taking back some of its losses. Now, how long this lasts for, well, it's anyone's guess, but at the moment it could be running into some resistance, particularly as it gets towards that monthly R2 area, so watching closely on that. But it's got the possibility of pulling back. I think it may have quite a big ask, but there are still possibilities to come back down towards that 79.63 area. So if it starts breaking maybe the 21 moving average or the trend line I've drawn there, if it starts pulling that, it could be a reasonable target to be looking for. A break likewise of this high as well, then as I say, we've really got to be coming back, looking at the dailies and looking for potential resistance off of that. Okay, as I said, the key three areas of news today, nothing else except that. So, and of course the Greek situation sitting there on the back burner, which we could see news from, well, it seems like almost any time. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.